Hey, sweet family, today in this video, I am going to be discussing how I got into herbalism and that you don't need a very large area to do something that you love. Just get started with whatever situation you have, whatever position you have. Just do it. You don't need a large area. Herbalism is a very rewarding experience. And I came to y'all this morning because I wanted y'all to know that you don't have to have a lot of money. You don't have to have a big area in order to get involved in certain things. I know a lot of times people just want to have like a huge setup and a very, big area where they can do stuff. But for me, I live in a 2-bedroom apartment and I, I came here a few years ago and I only have the basic areas of a 2-bedroom apartment and I make it do because what I do is to let all my different areas work for me. So my apartment is not only an apartment, but it is also if I want to start a business or when I fully start my business, it is a business as well. So let me go into some of the history because the history for me starts from Barbados. Living in Barbados, we in the Caribbean always were herbalists, basically. It's just that I have a fancy name for it. But growing up with my grandmother, she was a herbalist in her own right, trust me, because she had a cream, ointment, bush tea as they call it, for everything. And what they used to do, they used to plant all of the like herbs and food and different things, because growing up in Barbados, mostly everybody had their own little houses. So they had their kitchen gardens around the house or next to the house. When I lived in Barbados and I had my home there, I also had a garden that I used to plant my different herbs and different things like that. There was one year where I had planted my herbs because Yah's favor upon your life is something else. So I had planted my herbs and things like that, but then I had lost my job. And that year, those herbs grew so beautiful and everything because I'd never really, because I used to be working so hard with the job that I used to do, I had never really gotten involved fully. I wanted to, I always loved it. And then my eldest daughter bought me a book called The Basics of Gardening. And I mean, I started my gardening from then. She was like a teenager when she bought me this book. And those things grew so beautiful that year. I always know how to sell something to make a living. So I got some little bags and I parceled them out with my parsley and my thyme and my marjoram and all of those different things. My parsley grew so beautiful. It was just awesome. But I'm not gonna go too much into all of that. But yeah, so in Barbados, growing up in Barbados, that was always a part of our life. And I started making things for friends with the limited amount of money, and not money only, but um, not only the money, but the resources that we had down there, because you can get a lot more herbs and different things up here than you could get down there. So I really enjoyed that. That was part of my life. And then coming up here, I um, lived at a farm for a little while with my daughter, and we also used to plant stuff and different things like that. But I got married up here to an American white, and that lasted a few years because, the direction that I felt that the Most High was taking me in was not the same direction that he was going in. So things got very, very bad, and that didn't work. Coming back to the older generation in Barbados, they were herbalists. They were herbalists in their own right. They didn't call it that then, but they knew a lot of the different things. So when I right now you do the Ayurveda, you do the Western world herbalism and different things like that, but Caribbean herbalism is going to be perfect for me coming from the Caribbean. And story time now, I remember a few years ago, well, my youngest daughter, she was living in New York, and for some reason, New York was always a place that used to make her really, really sick. And I don't know if it was because she just was not accustomed to the climate there. I don't know, but she used to get sick, and she started getting these bad abdominal pains and different things, not even from her monthlies, but just something was going on down there. So now we don't know what it was that was going on down there, but anyway, it sent her to the hospital on 2 separate occasions. And I realized, well, there was nothing much I can do from here because I'm here, and she was in New York. So then one day she said to me, she said, "Mommy, I want to come home. Can I come home?" I said, "Yeah, you can come home because I really didn't send you anywhere. So you can come home anytime you want." So she came home, and then with all the different herbs and different things that I had here, she started drinking different teas. She started using my different tinctures for different ailments, because I'm the type of person that when I am doing something and when I get on something, I give 110% to what I'm doing all the time. It doesn't matter what it is. And I realize that about me. It doesn't matter what it is. So I had lots of tinctures. I had lots of different things here. So she would take tinctures for abdominal area and all that. And in years now, I have not heard her complain about this, because whatever it is that she was going on down there was really bad. And I have not heard her complain about it since. So that is just her little story about her situation. And now because of that, she too is totally involved in the whole herbalism thing, because she realized, you know what, it healed me and it really works. So she takes herbs and she makes her own little style. She takes herbs for whatever, whatever situation that is going on. But before I go any further, did I introduce myself? I can't even remember. But anyway, for those of you that don't know me, and I came on so that, I could introduce myself. So for those of you that don't know me, my name is Annie, and this is Sweet Annie's Naturals. It used to be Sweet Annie's Life because I did 3 different things on this channel, but I have since divided the channels out. So I have Sweet Annie's Faith and I have Sweet Annie's Kitchen, which I am in the process of putting stuff on, and then we will start our kitchen stuff. But so for those of you that never saw me before, and this is the first time I'm introducing myself, so welcome. And thank you so much for joining the family. The family might be pretty small, but hopefully someday it could be bigger. I started this channel in 2021, but because of me working my night shift, I don't get to spend as much time as I would like on this, on this journey and doing all of these things that I love, because this is my love. This is what I love doing, my herbalism. But my job is just a job to keep a roof over my head and all that. And as I said, I use that job. I'm not even sure if I said that, but what the job does to me, what I did is whenever I get a little bit of extra money, that's where I used to buy all of my stuff, my herbs, my containers, my dropper bottles, all of those things. So, and I've given people so much different things. And they would always say, how much do I have for you? And I say, just try it. Just try it. If it works for you, then you could get some from me or whatever. And when you understand herbalism or you do herbalism, you can make anything that you have to make for yourself. You do not have to go in the drugstore or whatever it is to buy everything. And I'm not telling y'all now, don't do these things, but I'm just telling y'all what works for me over the last couple of years, because I've been a person that have been on tons of medication growing up, from like my teenage years to maybe up in my over 40s or whatever the case may be. And I've been on lots of medication for this, for anxiety, for depression, for the fact that, you got a nervous breakdown, for this, for high blood pressure, for so many different things. So the point I'm making is that this journey to me is a very rewarding journey, because about maybe 8, probably mostly 8, I took it more serious. I just decided, you know what, I'm done with this whole Western medication thing, and I am going to make my own stuff to help me. And just remember as well, diet is very important, because if you are doing all these things and still you have a bad diet, well, it's not going to help that much. If you eat a lot of fast foods and all kind of things, like, you it's just going to be up and down. So the reason I wanted to do this video is because I want to take y'all on a little tour of my little areas that I have where I've made my tinctures and my oils and my extracts and all my different things that sometimes I just give away at Christmas time. So I hope that y'all enjoy this little tour. And I might not do all the different areas because some of them are very untidy right now, but the reason I wanted to do this is to show people that you don't have to have a big area to do these things. So let's go on the tour now. Okay, so these are basically my cupboards. And these are my bottles. So my cupboards that are supposed to have like plates and all kinds of stuff. Well, I have this side, I have like a few things like my funnels and my different things and a few plates and stuff like that up there. But it's only me and my daughter that lives here, so these are my oils, my tinctures that are being done. And these are some more here, right? And what I do, I just use like cards, and I write the things on them. I write the dates and the different things on them. And then I use some clear tape to tape it because I'm not sticking anything on my bottles because I use my bottles over again. So that is, these are just some, this is my vanilla essence that I made. So these are like some stuff that I made, my essences, or my extracts, I should say, and all those things. So that's one part of it. And this is just now when I make my different tinctures and extracts and all of that, what I normally do is put them in my amber bottles so that they don't get a lot of sunlight. My apartment is pretty dark anyway, so, and then this is some up here as well, and this is my little thing. This is made out of ceramic, and I make my capsules. So this is my capsule maker. Actually, my eldest daughter is supposed to come by me for us to do a capsule making day. So we would probably let y'all in on that. Now here is where I have my bottles of different herbs, and it goes right away down. So those are all my herbs there. And yes, so that's that. So this is my bookshelf with my books, and a lot of those books down there is where I have my recipes and everything like that as well. So after that tour, I have like other areas where I have my more herbs, but they're in bags, so that area looks untidy. And I have my essential oils So my essential oils, I have lots of essential oils as well. And so I hope that this video, I hope that I covered a lot of things that y'all wanted to know. And I hope that this video was of a help to a lot of you, because you don't have to live in a big area. As I said, I just live in a 2-bedroom apartment, I think. So if you're interested in doing this kind of stuff, get started now. And every time you get some extra money, a little bit of extra money, because that's what I did. Every time you get a little bit of extra money, just buy this stuff. And you would see how rewarding it is. That's why I started off by saying herbalism and doing things for yourself is very rewarding. And all my daughter does now, she said, "Mommy, I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of you." I said, "Thank you." But the truth is, I'm proud of myself as well, because it took me a while. I started this journey older than a lot of other people have. And I would love, love to be able to do it as an occupation or something like that. But because things are the way how they are, you have to work sometimes and do what you're passionate about. So don't like give up your job to go in to do certain things full time, unless you know that those things are going to be able to cover you and cover your bills and your rents and your internet and your phone, you know, everything that it needs to cover. So, but another thing I wanted to say is, when, and I said this before, but I'll say it again for those in the back, when Yah's favor is upon your life and He is ordering your steps or guiding your steps, try your best to go in the directions that He orders you, because I started this whole journey later than I anticipated. I saw it in my life for years, but I started this journey late because I allowed a lot of people to come into my life and sidetrack me. And for those of you that love this content, thank you so much for sticking with me to the end. And I was so happy to do this, because I got up early and it is really dark, but I got up early so that I could make this video for you. And the truth is, the first one that I did, when I looked at the camera was totally off for some reason. So I'm hoping that this footage is okay, because consider liking the video, because with this channel you don't know what else you could get, because I'm gonna be teaching y'all. I've been teaching y'all, but I'm gonna be teaching y'all how to make a lot more stuff that you don't have to go in the supermarket to buy everything, because you could make, there's so much things that you could just make. I thought that a lot of people, I always thought that a lot of people knew about the things that I know about, or can do the things that I can do, but I realized that that's not the case. So anyway, I'm not going to keep y'all any longer on this in this video. But if you want to see more videos like this, just send me a comment and let me know. you to let your light shine, because when your light is shining, it drowns out all the darkness. And spread the love and have an awesome day and week until I see you again next time. I am Annie.